Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to work on this large piece of acrylic paper because I'm going to apply some crackle paste. We have done this before, but it's actually done in two sections. The first layer is the base, which goes on first. Then I leave it to dry for a little while and apply the top coat, which gives us the crackles. So here I have applied the base, which you can see is slightly shiny. I'm going to leave that to dry and then I will apply the paste. And here we are, it's still wet and I've applied it with this metal palette knife. I've just spread it on very carefully. Now I'm going to leave this overnight to dry so the crackles can develop. Okay, so here we are. The crackles developed. I took off the masking tape and I've applied some plant shapes just in some clear masking fluid, which is now dried. I'm going to be working with a mixture of opaque and transparent paints here today and one semi-transparent. If you're not sure about this, you need to actually check on the tubes of paint. I put a little note there for you because the little squares will give you an indication of what type of paint you're actually working with, whether it's transparent, semi-transparent or opaque, which means you can't see through it at all. So it's nice to have a mixture, and I've just tested them here just to see that they all work together. Obviously they will blend, that's a solid one, so that's very opaque. So I want them to all blend harmoniously, and we'll use some director's colour. This is a lovely sap green to start with. I want a real spring feel for this piece. The one I've done before with the crackle paste is more autumnal. So I'm introducing a little bit of phthalo blue there, which is a really beautiful colour, and mixed with the sap green. It gives it a little bit of depth. So I'm applying this quite loosely, really, because I haven't a great plan in mind. I'm putting all of this on, then we will come back and start adjusting. This is what we need to do with this work. We need to start with the base layers. This is a nice mix of the cadmium yellow and actually some magenta to make a really nice warm orange, sort of a burnt orange colour. And then let down a bit with some lemon yellow. As usual, I'll put all the colours in the description for you. And here we go, a little bit more of the straight cadmium yellow. It's quite intense, quite bright. Although it is actually transparent, it is quite bold, so we can mix it down with other colours. I'm just going in with a little bit of that lovely magenta. While that soft yellow is still wet, it just works in really nicely and mixes. Make a little bit more intensity because we want a little bit of colour beneath the areas where we've got masking fluid. We want that to show when it's removed. So going up there with that lovely blue-green mix again. I'm using a flat brush for most of this work. It's easier to cover large areas and it's also easier to pull it out as I'm doing now. A little bit more intensity with that green. And I'm going to bring it all the way down the side of that little texture box as well. And I will blend it upwards. A little bit more blue in there. Beautiful. And obviously the blue and the yellow are going to make a green shade. Any areas that we want to reduce the colour, we can just soften down with titanium white, which is opaque. And back with that lovely orange mix of cadmium and magenta, softened out with some white. Now I'm just going to go straight in with that lovely magenta. It really is a beautiful warm pink. I'm not really a pink person, but when these are blended, softened with the white and mixed with the other colours, it actually really does look very spring-like. And we have a lot of magnolias near us and there have been really beautiful pinks this year. And I've got a little rhododendron in my garden, which is beautiful coral pink. Now I've mixed beautiful dark mixture here. This is a little bit of the blue and Perylene Green. It's a really dark, beautiful colour. And I've just put it lower down because I want that to be at the base. And I'm just adding it over that block. And I'm back in with that pink. Just pull. Don't forget, you need a mixture of vertical and horizontal areas. I love this dark pink that I've managed to mix here. That was actually using that dark green with the magenta. So I tested it first to make sure it worked. Never be afraid to test your colour on a piece of paper first. There's nothing worse than putting it straight onto your painting and regretting it. So we're touching up, adding a little bit of dark, a little bit of base. I like that little pop of yellow that we've got near that pink. I keep going back to places, adding a little bit more depth, stronger mix of magenta, blending it across that lovely orange colour that we've got there. And I'm going to add a little bit down in this green block as well to take some of that green away. And straight in with this beautiful cadmium yellow. There's a particularly lovely area there. We've got some sort of grasses or something growing, so I want those to show up. By putting a little bit of that blue-green mix as well, it's really spring, really suggests the freshness. And of course the colours mix together to make that lovely soft green in the middle. I pull that across. This is a slightly smaller flat brush that I'm using. It's a little easier for detail. I'm just popping that colour in there, mixing it. And I'm just going to darken under some of that area of the masking fluid so that when we remove it, it will show. And I'm just sweeping, that yellow has dried, but I'm actually just grazing across with that dark green just to soften it down. Like I said, it is bright. If you want bright colours, that's absolutely fine. However, of course, it's in your hands to soften it if you wish to. Now, I've actually started removing the masking fluid. The paint was dry, so I'm carefully pulling it off, and you can see the magnificent shapes we've got. It's really going to look effective. It's a little bit tricky to get it to start sometimes where the paint's covered it. You have to sort of try and pick at it until it removes. And now we've got some lovely white areas here. The next thing I need to do is to soften some of that area. We don't want every little bit to be white, so I'm going to go underneath and I'm just going to add in little bits of stems, little bits of twigs, and this is a bit of a long process, so I'm not going to make you watch all of this. I'm just sort of showing you how I'm going to start adding little bits of depth, covering some of the white, bringing out some of the other colours. It really will make a big effect once it's finished, and I will show you how I get on just in a little while. Just before I carry on doing the stems, I want to show you this little widget. It's basically a little foam dauber on the end of a stick, and I love mixing some colours just randomly. I'm mixing the pink, the yellow and some white. And if you watch, you can make the most beautiful little flower shapes. And make it a little bit more colourful. I hope you can see it there. It's a really quick and easy way of adding on little flowers, little buds. There we go, a bit better with a bit more colour on that pink. And I'm just going to dot it into areas, especially bits where there are breaks in the masking fluid stems. And pop a couple up here just to break up. What I love about this is the circles break up all the squares and rectangles. And here we go. This is my final little bit after I've done all the stems and added in the flowers. We've got sort of little weed effects. And I love this dark here, and I want to add a little bit more dark in some of these other panels. So I'm using a mixture again of the magenta with the Perylene Green. It's really, really beautiful. And I put it on, and then I've just scrubbed it with a little stenciling brush. If you've got an old oil brush or an old toothbrush, it really helps to sort of scrape the paint around. You don't want it too intense. You want it to blend a little bit. And wet the brush if you need to as well. And you can see how those corners just give it that little effect. Now, this is one of my favourite paints. This is a golden paint, and it's an iridescent white. And I'm just going to dot on with the palette knife. This is the tiny palette knife. It's great to use the little end of it and scrape some across, just grazing it over these lovely textured panels that we've created. It really gives it a little boost of light. It catches and it just breaks up some of the colour. And I'll go in a little bit and you can see how that's working. I'm really pleased with that. I like the mixture of the darks and the lights, the shapes, the shadows. And I hope that this will inspire you to have a go with this. It's a really fun thing to do. If you need any help, do let me know. I'll tip this up so you can just see a little bit of the shimmer the little bit of metallics, there's a bit of gold and that little bit of iridescent white. Please have a go. Let me know how you get on, and if you have any questions, do please get in touch. As always, thank you so much for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Keep painting. Bye for now.